Okay, let's get right into it. We're looking at a Super 8 match that is so much more than just another game of cricket. Under the Chennai lights, India is staring down a must-win situation against a very dangerous, very fearless Zimbabwe team. This is all about survival.
Yeah, this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? After getting hit hard in their last match, one of these teams is really on the brink of being knocked out, and you can just feel that pressure starting to build.
So, why all the drama? What's turning the heat up so high on this one particular game? Well, it's not just about getting the win. There's kind of this hidden character in the story, a number that can make or break everything. And that number is the net run rate, or NRR. You see, India's big 76-run loss to South Africa absolutely hammered their NRR. So now, they don't just need to win, they have to win big. Every single run, every ball, it all matters immensely.
And if that wasn't complicated enough, you have to think about where they're playing. We're at the MA Chidambaram Stadium in Chennai. You probably know it as Chepauk. And let me tell you, this pitch has a personality all its own.
The thing about the Chepauk pitch is that it's a great equalizer. This is not some flat road where batters can just swing for the fences. No, the ball grips the surface, it turns, and the whole pitch slows down. It doesn't reward brute force. It rewards smarts, it rewards patience, and it basically turns spin bowlers into kings. So how's the home team looking? Well, India is obviously a giant in the world of cricket, but right now, they're a wounded giant. They are feeling the pressure, and they desperately need to come out and make a statement.
Now, on a pitch like this, their world-class spin attack becomes almost unplayable. You combine that with some of the most explosive batters in the world at the top of the order and a deep lineup, and you can see why they still have all the tools to completely dominate this game.
But they're not invincible. Not by a long shot. As we saw against South Africa, if you can just grab a couple of early wickets, a little bit of panic can creep in. They can get bogged down in those middle overs, especially on a turning track. And their bowling right at the end has been a little shaky lately. And now for their opponents, Zimbabwe. They walk into this as the classic underdog. They have absolutely nothing to lose and, everything to gain. And that right there is what makes a team so dangerous.
Their biggest weapon might just be their mindset. They can play with total freedom while all the pressure is piled up on India's shoulders. They're led by the absolutely brilliant Sikandar Raza. He's the heart and soul of that team. And they've got bowlers who can really test that fragile Indian top order early on.
The challenge for them, though, is going to be massive. Facing India's elite spinners on a turning Chepauk pitch for 12 straight overs, that is a monumental task. They also sometimes just lack that extra gear at the end of an innings. And in a game this big, keeping your cool is everything.
So with all of that in mind, this entire match could really just boil down to a few key head-to-head showdowns. If you win these little battles, you'll probably win the war.
Okay, let's break them down. First, can Zimbabwe's opening bowlers get at India's top order? If they can, wow, the whole vibe of the game changes. Second, this is the big one. India's spinners versus Zimbabwe's middle order. This is where the game could get choked out and decided. And finally, can Sikandar Raza, their main man, solve the spin puzzle? If he can, Zimbabwe has a real shot. And that coin toss, it's going to be fascinating. If India bats first, the plan is simple. Go huge. Put up a score over 175 and let your spinners just squeeze the life out of the chase. But if Zimbabwe bats first and just manages to get a solid 150 or 160, then all that net run rate pressure comes crashing down on India because now they have to chase it down and do it fast. So it all comes down to this classic contest, doesn't it? It's overwhelming talent versus overwhelming pressure. Will pure skill win out, or will the weight of it all lead to a massive upset? After looking at the pitch, the teams, the key matchups, what's the verdict? What's the most likely way this whole thing is going to shake out?
The final call is a win for India. When you look at their sheer quality, their deep batting lineup, and, maybe most importantly, their desperation to bounce back, it's just expected to be too much for Zimbabwe to handle.
But cricket isn't played on paper. When the pressure is this high, it becomes a battle of the mind. And in that battle, the fearless underdog, well, they always have a puncher's chance.